So today we're going to do the gas test lab. Just a quick review of yesterday's note. When we're testing for unknown gases, can't smell them, can't taste them, could be dangerous to us. One of the techniques we can use is the burning splint. So the burning splint, uh, when it comes into contact with pure oxygen, will burn much brighter. The safer way of doing this is the glowing splint. Light it on fire, blow it out, and just the end of it that is glowing will reignite in flames if oxygen gas is present. Hydrogen, of course, will make a popping noise, and carbon dioxide will extinguish or put out that splint, sorry. Or if it's a lime water test, when the carbon dioxide gas comes into contact with the lime water, it will turn cloudy. So the lab itself. So this is the lab. So the gas test lab. Identifying mystery gases. So the purpose of this lab is to identify the mystery gases, of course. Hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated guess on what you think is going to happen. So this could just be a reworked version of yesterday's notes. So I think that when the burning splint comes into contact with oxygen gas, it will burn brighter. There's 1/3 of your hypothesis done for you. Materials, we're going to use a bunch of different materials, and you'll see that this is out of order: part 2, part 3, part 1. I've just changed the part number to match the video. So in part 1 of the video, the gentleman doing this video, he takes acetic acid, which is vinegar, and sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, and he mixes them together. So a little bit of acetic acid in the bottom of a test tube. You add in a little bit of sodium bicarbonate and observe. Now it might be hard to see in the video, so when he mixes those two together, they start to bubble. This is an experiment, safe experiment you can do at home. If you want to take a little bit of vinegar, add a little bit of baking soda or sodium bicarbonate to it, you can record the results. And that bubbling, of course, is one of our 5 look-fors for chemical reaction, and it tells us a new gas is being formed. So introducing a burning splint into that gas, as you see in the video, and you get a reaction which tells you what that gas is. On to part 2, potassium iodide. It's a white powdery chemical. Looks kind of like flour, I suppose, a little bit more granular, kind of like halfway between flour and salt. And hydrogen peroxide, which you likely have in your bathroom for putting on cuts or for bleaching your hair. Hydrogen peroxide is a clear chemical that looks like water. It's not water. Don't drink it, that's for sure. So a little bit of potassium iodide in a test tube. Add in some hydrogen peroxide. A new gas is formed when you put the burning splint into it. You should get a reaction. You can record that reaction. Once again, it bubbles up as well, indicating a new gas. And the third one, hydrochloric acid and magnesium. Hydrochloric acid, a clear liquid that looks like water. A little bit of that in the bottom of a test tube. Put in a strip of magnesium. It's a metal. Usually in the lab we buy it in ribbon form. So you get about 1 centimeter of that ribbon. You drop it into the hydrochloric acid, and it starts to bubble as well. Gas is produced. Introduce in your burning splint and see what the reaction is. Or in this case, not a burning splint, but a glowing splint. The fourth experiment is not part of this lab. I often just demonstrate it for you, and that is I will mix some acetic acid and sodium bicarbonate together. I will capture it in a test tube by putting a plug at the top with a hole in it, and out through that hole is a rubber tube. The gas travels along that rubber tube into another test tube in which I have some lime water in it. And when that lime water comes into contact with the mystery gas, a reaction takes place. I'll include a second video that just shows you that. And the last part of the lab here, I can't find a good video online for you. But cobalt chloride it's a blue chemical, and it reacts to water and water vapor. So cobalt chloride paper is it looks like construction paper that's been impregnated with the cobalt chloride chemical. So it's a blue construction paper. Boil a kettle. You have a mystery gas coming out of the mouth of that kettle. You hold the cobalt chloride paper over and it turns pink. And when it turns pink, that tells you that that mystery gas is water. If you were to take that cobalt chloride paper and put it to the side, after a few minutes it would dry out and it would actually turn back blue again. It's no longer in the presence of water, so it's not pink. Even just holding it between your forefinger and thumb, it would eventually, after about 10 seconds, it would turn pink in the shape of your fingerprint, just through the moisture in your fingers. So that's part 4. Obviously not using a burning splint, but using paper to test for water vapor. So your job is to draw up for observations, perhaps make a little bit of a chart or a table, list the 3 experiments, list which gas you get from them, and list any observations you make. So as I went through all these, I mentioned that in all 3 of these parts that you get bubbling, and that bubbling indicates gas. So that will be the observation part of your lab, a chart saying what happened to the burning splint, and then a few discussion questions for you to do for me. All right, that's it. Have a great day, everyone.